Hello and welcome back to Horrific Horror Review. I'm Jim King.
I'm Eric Bonifield. Horrific horror
Horrific horror review.
Right. It's the Red Bull.
Is that what it is?
Horrific horror review. There we go.
There you go.
It's a motherfucker.
It's a mouthful, isn't it?
It is. I like it.
It's why it was available.
Is that why?
No, I don't know. It was the first thing I thought of, and I thought, lucky
it's
day
pretty
that
good.
I couldn't find anybody else using it.
It's hard to say. So I remember it.
Right?
So
yeah.
What's up?
Today we're going to talk some sci-fi-ish horror movies.
Right?
I had a huge list, but, we had talked about drumming it down and maybe doing a couple episodes of it.
Yeah, for sure.
I recently watched Cloverfield Paradox.
You really like this movie.
I liked it wrapping up some loose ends.
You've talked about it a couple times now.
Yeah, and I watched it again just to absorb it, And it's a fun movie. I like space movies. I like the comedy that was involved in it. I like the split dimensions.
There was some comedy.
There was some fun in it, yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. I actually just for the first time watched a trailer for it, like a long trailer for it.
Oh, okay.
And that shit with the arm is great.
Oh my god, that guy gets his arm stuck in the wall.
You were right. When he first gets his arm stuck in the wall, I was like, oh fuck. I would lose my fucking mind. Fuck out.
And then it's on the other side of the wall, crawling around. But it's the arm of the dude from the other dimension. So it's giving them information. At one point,
so wait, don't get too far ahead of yourself. So what?
It's so good.
What are you talking about? Other dimension? What's the point?
Okay, well, the point behind it is we've run out of our resources. We've run out of energy. Countries are going to war. They're battling over everything. We're all divided.
This is like the near future.
Well, seemingly yes.
Uh-huh.
It could be distant-ish, but at the same time, it's right up.
Not too far in the future.
No. So no, there's not a lot of advanced technology or anything like that. They build a space station thing because they've got this. It's called the Shepherd, I believe, and it's a what they think is going to be a self-sustaining full-time energy source. But they're scared to test it on Earth because they don't know what it's going to do.
And this is energy to power our homes.
Yes, everything. The planet,
cars,
everything. Yes.
Kind of like a Tesla,
yeah. We've turned everything over to needing energy, and now we're out of it.
So this is like a system where you can just put something on the table, like my radio, turn it on, and it will draw power from this thing.
They never get that far.
Okay.
They're at the point where they're trying to get the thing to work.
Okay.
And so they put him up in the space station, and there's a scientist.
And why do they put this thing in a space station and put it into space?
Well, it's the only place they feel safe to test it. They don't want to test it on the planet.
They don't want to test it on the planet.
They don't want to fire it up on our planet.
It's that dangerous.
There are people that say that it'll put rips in time.
Can I pause just for a second?
Yeah.
And you know what this reminds me a lot of?
What?
When they first tried the hydrogen bomb. Do you remember?
Yeah.
There were guys who were like, we might ignite the atmosphere and set the world on fire.
Right.
And they were
what
like,
if you crack our planet in half, you
fuck it. Right? Well, no, they were their legit concern was that they were going to light the oxygen on fire in the atmosphere. And a lot of these guys were like, we don't know, and they were like, you know what? Do it. Can you imagine? Even if that's 50-50. Your people are coming to you like, we don't know,
man.
And you fucking say, go for it?
Who were the people sitting at that
table?
Fuck
you, dude. Right. Please continue. So they put this thing in space.
So they put it in space, and over a time, 2 years, they're in space trying it and failing and trying and failing. And what my point was, though, is that each scientist is from a different country.
Okay.
So it's kind of like they got the best and the brightest from everywhere and put them up in there. But at the same time, there's all this cross things going on because there's war going on the planet. And not in our dimension, but in the other dimension, things happen differently. And
wait, pause.
I know.
You got too far again.
I'll loop back to it, I swear. there's the government is trying to manipulate what happens up in the space station at some points. Certain countries want this to succeed. Certain countries want other countries to like fall to the wayside before it succeeds. You know what I mean? Like they're using politics as well. It doesn't happen a lot, but it gets brought up. So anyway, they're on the space station for 2 years and they're testing this thing out, and it keeps failing and failing and failing. And they finally have a fire, and they have to vent to have this fire go out, and they get the thing to work.
Okay.
And that's when they're like, holy shit, it worked, it ran. And when it's done, they're in a celebration kind of state, and they want to like contact Earth and tell them that they, had a successful firing of it and they got it to run by itself. And when they look out the windows and everything, Earth is gone.
Okay.
Now they have this weird gyro ball thing that's like a compass. And so that's what they always refer to. It finds like the closest constellation and then maps out where the ship is and everything.
Okay.
This thing isn't working. It's malfunctioning. And later on you find out that the compass is straight missing. It's not in the drawer that it's supposed to be at all.
Okay.
But so they have no idea where they are now. And this is where the other dimension comes into play. What they did when they fired it is they ripped into another dimension on top of another dimension. The first dimension being almost a mirror image. They're doing the same thing. They have the same space station, roughly the same crew, difference being one person. And they're still outside of Earth. There's still wars going on Earth. So that's where the paradox happens.
So there's multiple... So by them activating this thing, this machine, they have opened a door to other dimensions, other Earths.
Right. Which is odd because later on you find out that in the dimension that they've traveled to, the reason they couldn't see the Earth is because they are upside down and on the opposite side of the sun of where they were before.
Like the mirror image.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So it goes through all these little things. The big twist right off the get pretty much is that the wall starts screaming. Like it's screaming and screaming, and they have to take apart all this wall to get to the innards of the ship inside. And there's a woman in there that is fused into it. Like there's wires going through her body. And
you know what this is reminding me of as well?
What's that?
And again, is the Philadelphia experiment.
Totally.
Big time.
Big time.
Yes,
I thought that the whole time. It's
the Philadelphia experiment in space.
Kind of. Yeah.
Fucking
and there's so many twists, and what they find out when they get this woman out is she knows everyone on the crew by name except for one person.
Okay.
The reason she doesn't know that person is because she's that crew member on the other
in her dimension.
That's why she doesn't know that girl.
Right.
So they're freaking out because this woman that all of a sudden is.
And do they know her?
No, they don't know her at all.
They don't know her. So,
No. But she claims to be best friends with one of the main characters. That woman's children died in real life. And so that's why she went on the space station, because she was going to save the rest of the planet and her children were dead. She has a husband, but she didn't have the children aspect to keep her on Earth.
Okay.
In the other dimension, she stayed on Earth because her kids are still alive.
Okay.
So this lady's like being tortured knowing that she's like orbiting a planet where her children are still alive down there.
That's interesting.
But she's down there too. It's her other,
Right.
So to go, invade that would be really fucked up. So she just gets this tough through it, basically. But so then you've got, so that's the weird dynamic. And this woman is like, don't trust this guy because this guy's the one who sabotaged their ship in their dimension, but in our dimension that we're watching, he isn't the saboteur. He didn't do anything wrong.
Okay.
So it's got crazy twists, and so then the mechanic, he gets his arm stuck in this wall, like it just all of a sudden turns to liquid, and his arm goes through it, and then seals up around him, and then starts moving around, and then just pinches his arm off.
Right.
And they're looking at this stump, and it's like you can see the perfect bone and the muscle and everything. It's like fused as if he'd been born that way. It's crazy,
like a steak.
On the other side of the ship, the arm is crawling around.
Yeah.
They find it. It starts motioning for like a pencil. It writes down that the gyro, the compass that they're looking for to figure out where the fuck they are, is inside of the body of the first guy that freaked out and died. And they're like, holy shit, they have to cut this guy open. And then It goes crazy. I don't want to ruin the whole movie, but there's.
Do you?
Are
you sure?
I don't know. I want to ruin the whole thing. But no, it's a fantastic space adventure.
Okay.
And I will say I was left hanging like most of the Cloverfield situations.
Yeah, I can't get into it, bro.
You got to rethink it and rewatch it in a different order. I'm gonna say that. I have a whole new respect for it. It was. The twist on top of all of this is they've got to repair their device, the Shepherd device that they've gotten to work, fire it again, claiming that if you fire it one more time, it'll reverse what they've done and take them back to their time. Okay. Which it does. When they get back...
Are we sure it takes them to their time? Yes. Not just another alternate?
No, it takes them to their time. Totally. Okay. But the problem is
when you say their time, you mean their dimension.
Back to their dimension, back to their planet, back to the current time. All of a sudden, they just they reappear, and they're like, the space station is failing. It's been through a whole bunch of shit. Half the bottom ripped off of it, and so they're like, we need to get off the space station now. So they hop in the pod and they're ejecting down to Earth. Main character's husband starts screaming, "What do you mean she's coming back? What do you mean?"
Sure you don't want to ruin it?
I ruined it all. I just ruined it all. And I'm going to ruin the whole end of it right here, too, because it's the greatest part ever. Okay. As the pod is entering our atmosphere, it drops through, and when it hits to the cloud line, a giant Cloverfield monster just comes up out of the clouds and what appears to eat it. Yeah. I'm not sure if it passed through it, like by it in front of it, but from where I was looking at it, it looked like
definitely
it
the Cloverfield monster definitely comes up and like takes a swipe at it.
Yes.
That's what I saw that.
So in my mind, here's their explanation of how Cloverfield happened. Now the first Cloverfield movie made sense to me. This is where the monster came from. This is how come. So it aligned better for me. And then I watched Cloverfield again, and I don't know if I watched like the cool extended director's cut this time or something. But the first time I saw it, I didn't remember getting really good lengthy glimpses at the monsters at all. I felt really ripped off at the end of it.
Really?
This time around, I got great looks. It was
I remember seeing some really great shots of that monster.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. And I couldn't help but think this is just fucking Godzilla.
Some pretty good daytime shots too.
It was just a Godzilla movie.
Oh yeah, it was just a giant monster movie told from a
little to no explanation.
It's the found footage version of a giant monster.
Official movie. FBI tapes, whatever. Yeah.
But
it made sense to me more now.
Okay, with watching how does the second one fit into it then? Does it clear
10 Cloverfield Lane?
Yeah. Does it clear that, or is that just another Earth in this?
How I felt about that is the original aliens, Cloverfield. Right? Is happening in the city. 10 Cloverfield Lane felt like it was happening at the same timeline, same time frame, just out in the country instead. But still invading monsters, still...
Yeah, that's my question. How do the aliens from 10 Cloverfield Lane relate to the huge monsters?
They don't. They're different. They just ship. I mean, they were still monsters, but they came in ships. They were flying around. It turned more into like a Terminator situation by the end of 10 Cloverfield Lane. She was headed to the city to help fight.
So resistance. How does 10 Cloverfield Lane? I can see what you're saying. How the first and last ones are.
I just assumed that it's our first look at what they brought through from that dimension. Like it wasn't just monsters. It was ships. It was a species.
All right.
That's what I thought was happening.
Okay.
So that's how it felt all tied together to me. 10 Cloverfield Lane was just a story about a bunch of people, or some people, in a fucking bunker hiding out over this situation.
Right.
And not knowing if it was aliens or weather.
But I just want to know how they're like connected. You said like this one like connects them.
Well, it made sense now to where how the aliens got here. They had no purpose. It didn't seem like they were snatching us up or eating us or anything. They were just killing us, and it was because they just got drugged from another dimension, and they didn't travel here on purpose to do anything. They were just stuck here.
You talking about the first one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well.
Yeah. So there's
sounds like you like that movie.
Credit. Yeah, I liked it, and it made the other two more enjoyable to me.
Yeah,
having a background story. Yeah. So there's Jim King's review on
Cloverfield. I don't know, man. I got a problem with the whole Cloverfield
and it's
thing.
on Netflix, so
maybe I should watch it. Maybe it'll make me feel different about it.
You're a big monster guy, so and
Exactly.
I know you like Godzilla, so I don't.
I love giant monsters, man. Well, yeah, I think maybe that's why I'm so fucking like bitchy about it. You know what I mean? You know, I don't know. I'm in a whole, the whole. I don't want to say I'm a J.J. Abrams hater. I don't want to go there, man. I think it's shitty.
I think it's shitty.
I do, but fuck, I'm not into him. I'm just not into him. Nah, man.
Okay, not the Star Treks, not the Star Wars, not Super 8, not... Like, none of them?
No,
You're just
man.
not an Abrams fan?
No, dude. I've tried. Because I get, like, his whole Spielbergian fucking thing. Like, I totally get it.
He grew up like the rest of us.
You know what? We already got a Spielberg, motherfucker. Like, that's how I feel.
Reins, though,
Ah, man, make your own fucking reins. Get your own horse. Get your own saddle. You know what I mean? Like, it just seems like...
It's hard to be unique these days.
It is. A lot's been done.
It has.
But,
and it really makes me wonder, too, what's sitting on shelves as well. Like...
Quite a bit.
What's been purchased and waiting for the right appropriate release.
There is so much shit out there that's like...
How many really great screenplays got bought up and they're just sitting on them?
A lot of that shit, man. A lot. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of good shit just sitting there.
Yeah.
Doing nothing.
I believe that.
Because it doesn't have an instant audience.
Exactly.
They're real scared to take chances now.
It won't sell action figures.
Right. Well, things have gotten so big. Everything so big, man.
Huge.
250,000 or 250 million, $300 million. I don't know
whatever Black Panther did.
I don't know what.
Like the new.
I just don't.
Marvel.
I don't understand that kind of
money.
Movie making. I don't.
They call them vehicles.
Oh my, yeah, it's not even a movie. It's not just a movie that you can sit down and fucking enjoy. Yeah, man.
So that's the first one that I brought up. What'd you come with?
Well...
What's your sci-fi list?
You said we work at a cemetery.
We do.
You came up to me and you were like, sci-fi, motherfucker.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, okay. I was like, I can do that. I can do sci-fi.
And it's funny, the movie that I had watched that made me say that to you didn't even make my list till last night. It's like the 30th one down.
What is it?
I watched The Thing, is what made me think, that's fucking sci-fi horror shit right there.
Yeah. And you know what it made me think of, actually, was what is sci-fi? And you know what? You can't really... I know sci-fi when I see it.
Right?
Okay?
It didn't
I know
ever
science
actually have
fiction
to go to space?
Yeah. Does it have to have space in it? No, not necessarily. Does it have to have science in it? No, not necessarily. It's a fine line between a quirky horror movie and science fiction. You know? And
if you Google it, there's a huge gambit of what's in there.
Oh yeah. Some movie like Meet Joe Black is listed as science fucking fiction. Other places you'll find it as
seems drama.
Drama, right? But yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it under science fiction a couple of times.
Interesting.
And other movies.
I've still never seen it.
You're okay. You're all right. Don't worry about it. I was thinking about it, because we like to focus on horror. So I was like, well, what's sci-fi horror? Because there's a lot of sci-fi that's horror. A lot of sci-fi isn't just sci-fi; it's horror as well.
To me, the idea of running out of oxygen in space is horror.
Oh yeah,
like there doesn't even have to be a monster.
No,
space fucking
like 2001: A Space Odyssey. That's a horror movie to me.
Totally,
hands down. The idea of an artificial intelligence trying to kill me—that's a horror movie. And I'm in space. And I've been freaked out by space ever since fucking You Only Live Twice, the motherfucking James Bond movie. When they fucking... Alright, so the beginning of You Only Live Twice. There are these two, I think they're Russian astronauts. Maybe they're...
So.
No, they're American, I'm sorry. In the very beginning, yeah. They get Russians again.
Okay.
Well, there's one of them's taking a spacewalk on his little line.
Right.
He's gotten outside of the capsule. This is way pre-shuttle days.
Doesn't something cut it?
Another spacecraft comes along, opens up the front.
Oh yeah, it has like Jaws mouth.
Yeah,
it swallows the whole.
You know what it looks like? It looks like a big metal Tremors worm.
Yes, it does.
Opens up the front, swallows the capsule, and slowly closes and pinches off that line, and homie floats out into fucking space forever. Yeah. And I was like, that is a fucking shitty way to go. Fuck you. I'm not going to be an astronaut. Fuck space camp.
You said that before.
Yeah. So,
okay. So what first popped into your head when you're thinking sci-fi horror then?
Terminator. The Terminator. And I think because...
That's funny because that's the first one I asked you. Do you think that's horror? I'm like, because I think it's fucking horror.
Yeah, I think the Terminator is a horror movie, and I'll tell you why.
The first one.
Yes. The first one is a horror movie. Can you call the second any of the other ones? No, they are not horror movies. No, sir. They are action-adventure films.
Right.
That's what they are. That first one is a goddamn science fiction horror movie.
Yes, it is.
And it's rated R. It's a hard R.
Yep. It's got naked Arnold.
It's got naked Linda Hamilton back when she had some body fat on her, and she was looking good. She was young.
The wife beat her crazy man.
Before she turned herself into a Terminator, doing pull-ups in her fucking insane asylum. Right. She was still rad then, though.
Yeah, she was cool.
But anyway, that movie came to mind, and it was if you haven't seen the fucking Terminator, go see the Terminator. Press pause and go see the fucking Terminator, man.
Yeah.
Just do it. It's an amazing movie. The original, Terminator.
There's one scene that is horror to me.
But when he's operating on himself,
yep. I knew you were going to say
there's
that.
At some point where the Terminator, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, is so fucked up and burned up and shot up that he's kind of like malfunctioning a little bit. And he has to go back to his shitty fucking motel room and repair himself. He's got like buckshot stuck in the gears of his fucking arm.
His wrist and shit.
So he's got to cut the meat away and fucking fix his shit.
Which is a really cool scene.
Pretty graphic.
Watching those little pistons move.
Yeah, super cool.
It was like Luke Skywalker's arm too.
And then he cuts his eyeball out because he's been shot in the face and burned. So his one eyeball is just gone white. And it's like he can't see through it and shit.
That scene, dude.
Takes
it's a scalpel, right?
It's an X-Acto knife, dude.
Yeah.
And sticks it in his fucking eyeball. Pops his eyeball out. Yeah. And then he's just got that red Terminator. That classic.
That's when he goes to the glasses, right?
That's when he puts on the sunglasses and he checks checks his hair in the mirror. Because he just had half his hair burned off.
Right.
And
he got that leather jacket from Bill Paxton, didn't he?
Yeah, he got a couple. He got all their clothes. Yeah. For the first half of the movie, he's walking around in a gray fatigue jacket, and then the second, after he gets all shot up and burned up, he ditches those clothes and puts on the motorcycle jacket and shit, like the classic Terminator look.
Right.
But there's that scene. Right? There's this, I'm operating on my fucking cell phone with an X-Acto knife scene, which is really graphic. And I remember specifically my father being like, close your eyes.
Really?
No shit.
It was that.
Oh, yeah. He was like, close your eyes.
Were you little?
Real little. 5.
Nice. Yeah.
5, dude.
Look away. Because, he was carving away at the meat. It was a graphic scene.
Cutting away at himself. And
I don't remember how old I was, but I was looking away independently.
Yeah.
Looking through my fingers.
Right? Me too. It was bloody and meaty, and it was a hard scene to watch, dude.
Which makes it awesome.
Great. It's fucking awesome. Again, in Stan Winston, fucking sick makeup effects, dude.
Yep.
Sick.
Yep.
And that's, Terminator is where, you think Stan Winston... that's where he kind of that's not where he got to start, but that's where it begins. That's where for me, that's where it starts with Stan Winston, that fucking Terminator, fucking robot, dude, fucking sick. But
so sick.
Fuck you, dude. It is.
And those scenes when they show the future, where there's a bunch of them with no skin, and
the future war scenes were really good. The Terminator is a cool movie because it's simple. It's about two soldiers from the future who have been sent back to the past. One has been sent back to kill somebody. The other one's been sent back to protect that person. And it's boom, that's it.
Impregnate.
Well, there's that too. He didn't know about that part. And you know what? If I was John Connor, you better fucking believe I would have told that dude.
Well, yeah.
I would have been like, dude, you can't fuck this up.
Right. You need to fuck this.
You need to go back and take care of fucking business with my mother. Otherwise, I can't be alive.
Like, what if he came back and he just like didn't do any of that because of out of respect for dude? You know, I'm not gonna bang your mom. That's bad. You know, a good soldier. But he had to. That was the whole point.
Yeah.
It's a crazy twist.
It is a crazy twist. It's that cyclical thing, man. It's like
you can think it into the ground.
Yeah. I've gone cross-eyed.
Those ships were cool too. Those like
the hunter killers.
Is that what they were called?
Yeah, HKs. Nice. And I remember Kyle Reese, the character the human soldier who's been sent back in time to protect Linda Hamilton and her unborn baby, unconceived baby even. He talks about the future a lot, and
telling her about how horrible
he'll narrate. He'll just start narrating about the future, and then they'll cut to a future scene, and those were like one of the best parts of the fucking movie were those future shots. And I remember thinking as a kid, like, just that would be a good movie. Just future Terminator, future war. Fucking make that movie.
Let's see all those soldiers in the trenches fighting.
Fucking sick. It was awesome. But I read something really interesting about this 2 days ago when I was like researching shit. And I've read it 2 different ways now in a couple different places. But we all know that Lance Henriksen was set up to play the Terminator for a minute. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. I don't know that.
Like, really? I thought everybody knew that.
No.
James Cameron had his eye. He wanted the whole idea of an infiltration unit. A regular guy, a small guy, a guy that no one will really notice. Lance Henriksen, he's a little low. He's just creepy enough though to play the creepy robot. You know what I mean? But you wouldn't look at him and Arnold walks into a room and you're like, whoa, look at this fucking dude. He's not an infiltrator. But check this out. James Cameron threw the script at Arnold because he was under contract with his fucking company or whatever.
Right.
You know how that shit works.
Yep.
And he was actually reading for the part of Kyle Reese.
Huh.
Yeah,
okay.
Dude. Yeah. He was like, he wanted to be the hero, because that's what he's all about. That's what Schwarzenegger's all about. He's all about the hero, right?
But too much dialogue.
At the time, he was still working with dialogue coaches and shit.
He was still struggling.
The studio was like, we don't know.
I mean, at that point, what? He's like just coming off of like Conan 2?
Actually, check this out.
Okay.
He'd wrapped Conan 1 and it had come out and shit, and that's why he was even there, was Conan.
Right.
He was filming parts of Conan the Destroyer while they had to actually like take a break during filming a Terminator so he could go do shit for Conan the Destroyer. Yeah.
Really?
Conan 2. Yeah. They took like a year off filming Terminator.
So he could grow his hair for
real? Who knows? Who knows, dude? But yeah, they took a break for a year so he could go. Instead of recasting, they paused for a year and brought him back.
You like those movies? You a Conan fan?
I fucking love them. I love Robert E. Howard.
Got your favorite Bond girl in it? Grace Slick, right?
Oh, what's her fucking not Grace Slick? Grace Jones.
There it is.
Oh,
Grace
man,
Slick.
she's
Grace
so
Jones.
weird, bro.
She's so fucking weird. What was her name? Mayday?
Mayday. She was Mayday in A View to a Kill. Yeah, she was. That's one of my favorite. That is my favorite Roger Moore.
That's think.
Christopher
Christopher
Walken.
Yeah.
Roger Moore hates that fucking movie.
Flood Silicon Valley.
He was gonna flood Silicon Valley.
That was the
and
twist.
He was gonna monopolize the microchip market. Yeah, very Bond idea.
He dropped somebody out of the bottom of a Zeppelin.
That was pretty smooth. That movie, his character?
Disappearing chair that falls out of the bottom of a blimp.
Christopher Walken's character was the result of a Nazi experiment.
Oh.
That's what the deal was with all the Zeppelins and blimps and shit. It's the Nazi element.
He was a white supremacy.
Oh, he was a total... Well, which is weird because he had Grace Jones.
Girlfriend.
Yeah.
I'm like...
Yeah. He was just about physical perfection. It didn't matter what race you were, you know?
And she's kind of that. She's
fucking... definitely, like, you know, represents some kind of peak physical something, you know?
Yeah. I wouldn't fight her.
She's got some shoulders like a man, dude. Punched me right in my fucking dick.
So anyway, Terminator. Yeah. What else? There was the good scene at the end too.
Which one?
In the end of Terminator, when they're like destroying the robot. That shit was fucking that was crazy violent. Fucking.
So you know what?
At one point, his arm's still fucking crawling. Right.
The first violent, really over the top violent scene in the movie was.
And isn't that how Skynet was made, by recovering the
garbage? Right. So if they'd never sent it back in time in the first place, Skynet wouldn't exist. It's like, what's happening? Like, how does this? You know, that's weird. You know, time circles like that, and time travel circle in time travel movies.
You got to be really fucking high to make a movie like time.
James Cameron was living in his car when he wrote that script.
Really?
Yeah, wow. Yeah, bro. Yeah, and working for Roger Corman, doing that's
a great story in itself, right there.
Doing matte paintings.
Really?
For Escape from New York and shit. He's a good artist, man. But you know what I really like about the Terminator? Well, here, the grossest shit, the real horror shit, there's that operation scene, and shit, the scene where Arnold, the Terminator, comes into the fucking police station and fucking eviscerates the fucking local police station. Right. Just fucking goes in and... Dude, when he shoots people in this movie, they don't just, like, drop. They, like, fly back 8 fucking feet and, like, their guts fall out. It's like, holy fuck.
What's he shooting?
Dude, he cuts through this fucking police station like a fucking Terminator, dude. Like, there's a reason why they say that.
Right.
Because of this fucking scene. It's scene.
All Terminator.
He fucking goes through this fucking police station and kills every fucking cop in the fucking... Every cop in the police station. Perfect. It is fucking crazy. And, dude, at one point... He's killed almost every cop in the... There's a couple, like, hiding behind desks and shit, like, I don't know what to do. And then he's looking for her. He's looking for fucking Sarah Connor, right? And you can hear in the background...
I love those scenes, too, where you're looking out from his eyes when you can see the, you know, like the details, the data going down the sides.
But you can hear in the background, shit's on fire, the place is fucking dark, and you can hear screaming in the background, like from like 3 rooms away. Just some poor fucker with his fucking knees shot out and his arm missing. Dude, he fucked people up. And yeah, I did like the heads-up display, the red heads-up targeting Terminator display. That's classic shit.
Didn't he kill, like, a couple before her? Like, wasn't that his thing? Like, are you Sarah Connor?
Well, the whole thing was,
a list of them,
he comes, you know, they both do that weird time travel thing, right? They both show up naked.
Lightning and naked.
Well, he showed up at the observatory. That observatory, the fucking rebel without a cause fucking observatory. Naked as a fucking J, dude. He goes fucking beats the shit out of 3 punk rockers and guts one and takes their shit. And what was I talking about? So he goes and finds a phone book. All he knows is her name, Sarah Connor.
Right.
And he there's like 3 Sarah Connors. And he rips it out and just starts systematically going from the top, one by one. And Kyle Reese, like, knew different shit about her. Because he knew her. So he knew her, like, middle name and shit.
Or whatever.
Right, like, he knew just a little, and he knew what she looked like. Terminator didn't even know what she looked like. Because he had her picture. Which is a huge part of the movie, is that fucking Polaroid of Sarah Connor.
True. Which ends up burning at one point, doesn't it?
It does. A Terminator comes into their little encampment. And doom, 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 just smokes everybody, and he gets fucked up. All of his future scenes, like his like nightmares about the future, all end with him burning.
Right.
Everyone. Right. Like he's stuck under something and burning and screaming, and cut to modern day, you know, like fuck, man. And you see later in the movie when he takes his shirt off, he is covered in fucking scars and shit. And it's just like, oh my god. Like, look at this dude. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But it's a great movie. And I should talk about Michael Biehn, the other guy who gets sent. Dude, Hollywood fucked up with Michael Biehn. I feel the same way they fucked up with Viggo Mortensen. I get the same vibe off of Brian Bean that I do off of Viggo Mortensen.
Okay.
Like, he's like a genuine dude, like a guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't get like a pretty boy vibe off of Michael Biehn. You know what I mean? Like, he looks like a carpenter. Do you know?
Right.
Like,
did you watch The Sopranos?
What?
Did you watch The Sopranos?
A little bit.
He was a regular
Was Michael
Joe,
Biehn on The Sopranos?
You're talking about the Liquid Terminator, right?
No, that's Robert Patrick from Terminator 2.
Right. Okay, yeah, sorry. Okay.
Fuck Terminator 2. I'm not even about it. I like it, but I'm not. That's not a horror movie.
Okay. Who are you talking about?
Michael Biehn. He's Kyle Reese. He's the human protector.
He was in an Alien movie too.
He played Hicks in Aliens.
Yes.
He was a James Cameron favorite. He was in The Abyss, which he was amazing. Michael Biehn was fucking amazing in The Abyss as the fucking Navy SEAL who's losing his shit. Dude, he's a Navy SEAL who's suffering from narcosis of the deep. And not only that, just the pressure of the situation.
Exactly.
Dude, he cracked like a fucking egg, dude.
He's got the bang.
And then he's like, I'm going to go nuke a fucking UFO. Like,
right.
Whoa. Right. Like, you have lost your shit.
And he had that really bad porn mustache.
He had a great mustache in that movie.
He had a really bad porn mustache.
Oh, it was totally like a sailor's mustache. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's a Navy dude's mustache.
Like, to the measurement. Like, there's a cutout they hold up to their face.
There is. There was. Right. I know. Yeah, there was. And it was totally that. It was that Navy mustache that he was sporting there. He was great in that movie.
He was awesome as Ringo in...
Oh, fuck. He played Johnny Ringo in Tombstone.
Right? He was amazing.
He was incredible. Every time he was on screen in Tombstone, he fucking stole that shit.
Right? I agree.
Just like with Val Kilmer. Just like when Val Kilmer would come on. It was like,
oh, he speaks Latin. Now I really hate this.
And then when those two were together, fuck you. Best scene in the fucking movie.
It was like Doctor Strange hanging out with Tony Stark.
Right? It was like two geniuses. Too much
douchebag in one room at the
same time. Too much dick.
Too much arrogance. Whatever.
There's too much. There's way too much in this motherfucking room, guys. Yeah. But Michael Biehn is amazing. He's really good in this movie.
I can't think of anything I don't like him in.
I can't either. He was in Planet Terror. He played the sheriff in Planet Terror. The local police force in Planet Terror was amazing. It was Michael Biehn, Tom Savini, and the original mariachi. It was like, whoa, I want to live in this fucking town. That Planet Terror,
yeah. He wanted his brother's barbecue recipe.
That's right. I forgot about
the Lawnmower Man.
The Lawnmower Man.
Right? Yeah.
What a cast,
right?
What a cast, man!
And Bruce Willis and that Saeed dude from Lost.
Yeah, I thought he was. You know what? I thought he was great.
He was funny
in Planet Terror. I really loved him with the balls.
His jar of balls and that
his
knife.
Weird jar of balls.
That curved fucking knife.
How is that really going to cut off balls? I mean, really?
Oh, no. It was supposedly a one-swiper deal.
Yeah.
That was a great cast.
It was a great cast. Planet Terror was a really fun movie.
We'll have to hit on those.
It was stupid. Exactly. What? Oh, you know what else was a good scene in Terminator? The gun shop scene. Arnold Schwarzenegger's The Terminator walks into the Alamo gun store, and it's the snowplow driver from Gremlins. Is the owner.
There you go.
And
I forgot about that.
Arnold's just pointing at the Uzi 9mm, and like he's just pointing out everything great. And he's just, this guy's he's a gun shop owner. He's like, I'm excited. He's like, all right, I'm closing early today. And at one point, Arnold's looking at a Spas 12 auto 12 gauge, and he takes a shell out of a box and loads it, and the dude, because you can't load a gun in a gun, you can't carry a loaded gun in a gun shop, it's a big deal. And the dude's like, you can't fucking do that in there. And he, shoots his ass and takes everything. And that's how he get. But that gun shop scene was memorable as a kid. Because that's the first scene where you see the 45, the 1911 with the laser sight on it.
Right.
And when we were kids, like, that was a big deal. The laser sight
was a big... Dude.
Check this out.
Oh my god.
Laser sights were so experimental at the time that the laser sight they used for that gun had a fucking wire that ran up his sleeve to a battery in the pocket of his coat. That's like no shit. It didn't just work.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Now
it's like trigger sensitive.
Dude, that fucking that laser sight would be so fucking ridiculous on a gun now because it was huge. Like it was like a telescope. You know?
Yeah.
Now there's just a little dot at the. You can't even see it. It's worked into the fucking frame of your weapon.
Yeah.
Anyways,
it's hidden up in the fucking front sight.
We talked about the future war. There's some really great 80s music in the Terminator.
There is.
When she goes into that bar, Tech Noir. Oh, fuck you. And some amazing 80s dancing.
Right.
So good. I forget every time, because when you think Terminator and music, you think of that awesome score.
Right.
You know,
right.
which is supposed to be the Terminator's heartbeat. Did you know that? The dun 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 dun. That's James Cameron. That was his whole thing. Right? Okay. Eye roll.
Yeah.
But
yeah, okay.
Yeah. That bar scene. I always forget that's in there.
Yeah.
When I'm watching it, and then that music kicks in, and there's these girls dancing 80s style. Really, it's really embarrassing. And it's not just the girls; it's the guys that are doing that dance.
Those are the ones that are embarrassing.
That's embarrassing. Where are those guys today? I don't know, but embarrassed.
Exactly, embarrassed.
The gun shop scene we touched. Oh, okay. One of my favorite scenes of the movie as well is when Michael Bihn's character, Kyle Reese, the soldier from the future, is puked out by this time machine, naked and burning. You know, just like, fuck. And he drops like 15 feet. Like, it's not pleasant to, like, the asphalt. Naked, you know. And then he steals this bum's pants. And just as he's pulling up these, like, shitty paint-covered, bum probably shitting them fucking pants, the fucking cops roll up. Woo!
Right.
And he's immediately he's running. Boom, he's bolting. Boom. And as a kid, I made this immediate association between the cops and they had a red and blue light, right? Dude, the hunter killers had the same red and blue shit.
Like, that's what I was thinking. He saw those lights and it was time to bolt.
Dude, he's just running from shit his whole life. Right. You know what I mean? Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Be it cops, whatever.
Those lights killers, mean authority, and I gotta go.
Boom, he's gone. And when he, like, suits up, he, like, breaks into this store, and, like, suits up in this store.
Eventually, he wears one of my favorite pair of Nikes.
The Nike Savages. Or the Nike Vandals.
I had those, man. They were black with a silver swoosh, and they had the
Velcro on the top. I want a pair really bad.
Are they bringing them back?
They brought them back for a minute, retro and they're done, you know, and they're way beyond my price range, dude.
They're ridiculous now.
But that whole scene where he's like, you know, he manages to get a gun from a cop, and he's like, you know, what day is it? You know, and dude's like, Tuesday. He's like, what fucking year? And dude's like, what? Like, he doesn't even know how to answer the question. You know what I mean? Because who asked that question? A crazy fucking person.
Exactly.
You know?
No one credible is going to rush up at you and ask you a year.
And he's like, right there. It's like, can you imagine being dropped into a place and not even knowing the year?
No.
You know?
Knowing that you were shooting for a destination year and hoping that you're close.
Just hoping. Like, man, I hope I'm even fucking close.
And lucky it's like the right town even.
Right.
I mean, what
did I get here before
Australia?
And the Terminator, like, did I get here before him, after him? Like, is he here right now?
Well, I mean, just think about another country. He wouldn't have a passport. He wouldn't be able to... You can't just get on a plane and fly.
Yeah. You know? It was...
it worked out well.
Yeah.
He was within a close enough vicinity.
You know what another really good scene is of the Terminator?
What's that?
The interrogation scene. when Kyle Reese is locked up with the cops.
And he's trying to explain to them how they're all going to die.
And he's talking to them like, all this shit's gone. He's like, this is all bullshit. Like, get these fucking, none of this is, this is all bullshit. All this is gone. You're dead. You're dead. All that matters is her. Like, you guys are fucking whack. Let me go. Like, like, where is she? Like, if I'm not with her, she's in danger. Where the fuck is she at? Right. And they're just like, calm down.
What year did you say you were from again?
Tell us, how do you feel about your mother? And the dude's just like, all right, who's in authority? And
that's what he says too. Like, who the fuck's in charge?
Who the fuck is in charge, man? Because I know it's not you, dumbass. And dude gets upset with them. But some of the best scenes in the movie that are like little side scenes are the scenes with the cops. Dude, between Lance Henriksen and that one other cop, they're fucking great fucking scenes, dude. Like, a lot of times those movies and those scenes in movies are filler bullshit.
Yeah.
These were quality. It was good, man. It was really good.
It was a good movie.
He's like all around. Dude, the one cop grabs a cup of coffee and he's like, that coffee's 6 hours old. And he slugs it and he goes, and I put a cigarette out in it. And he just doesn't give a fuck. Because they're like, and he's like popping aspirin and just, like, they've been there forever.
Right, like they're drinking fucking Tums or whatever.
Right. Putting on fresh shirts because they haven't been home for 3 days. Like, it was really, and dude, Lance Henriksen.
And people just keep dying in grotesque ways all over the fucking place.
Yeah. Earlier in the movie, when Schwarzenegger is going through that list from the phone book.
Right.
Dude, the way he kills these women is really brutal.
Which, think of another thing. Like, if that happened now, no phone booth, no phone book.
No phone.
He'd have to go apply for a library card.
How would he find? Well,
try to Facebook friend her.
Yeah, it'd be easy, actually. It'd probably be easier.
But if you ever tried to log into something, you got to set up an email. You got to set up a password.
He's a computer, though.
Well, kind of, but at the same time, type in this CAPTCHA to prove you're not a robot.
I'm sure he would be sent back with all kinds of weird robot protocols.
Yeah, I guess, but you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
Those funny '80s scenes where that just wouldn't happen anymore.
You're right. I hadn't thought about that.
He would just Google her now. That would be it.
Yeah,
it wouldn't have to find a fucking phone booth.
Yeah.
And what if, like, every time I went to a phone booth, what if that page was already ripped out because it had a pizza coupon on the back?
Right.
Go find another.
Right. I think. You know what? I don't think Schwarzenegger rips it out. I think he just records it. It's the Michael Biehn character that rips it out.
Right.
He rips it out.
He just takes like a picture with the red eye, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I will check this off the list next.
I think. Let me see. Let's see. Kyle Reese's death I wasn't expecting because he was the hero,
right? And
he died. It was pretty hardcore.
But actually, Linda Hamilton's the hero, right?
Well, in the second one for sure, and she was in this one. She definitely survived.
Right.
Like,
no, I just mean he was just the guy to get the hero to the hero point.
Well, she's gonna give birth to the hero, the savior.
Yeah.
John Connor. John Connor.
Thank
Messiah.
God we don't have to, like, hinge our lives on Ed Furlong.
Whoa. All right. Side note.
Okay.
Sidebar. I gotta say something.
Okay.
So it's funny we're talking about this. Just a few months ago, I was watching some really weird documentary about Terminator 2. And they were talking to Edward Furlong, it was after the movie had been shot and put out, right? And he's, now he's a big fucking movie star.
Sucking up the fame from that.
Totally. This motherfucker, he was so stupid and gullible and just did not have good guidance. Like, his parents were clearly not taking care of him.
Right.
Because he was, like, gonna marry his tutor that was his tutor on set. Some, like, 26-year-old chick.
Okay.
And he's 14.
Okay.
And he's just like, yeah, I'm in love, and I just love her so much. And that's all he can talk about is his girlfriend in these interviews, and he's such a 14-year-old fucking boy.
He's
it's like,
not even talking about the movie.
We don't give a shit about the fucking teacher who lets you fuck her.
Right.
Right. Like, it was really embarrassing. Like, and I wonder, like, does he... it was so weird,
and now
dude.
He watches it and just like,
like, man, I was an asshole. Like, God. And you know what?
And
No
she probably
14-year-old.
fucked him over bad.
Well, they never ended up getting married, from what I understand.
Right.
But they definitely were engaged.
That's fun.
It's so fucked up, right? Where was Arnold? Like, hey, Eddie.
Step out of your Humvee and be a father figure real quick.
Dude, for sure,
Christ,
right? Somebody help his kid. He just got his dick wet. Now he's like, I'm marrying her. Right? Like, no, whoa. Slow down, kid.
Stumbled into American history.
You just made a movie.
Right?
Like, there's going to be lots of that. It's okay.
Right.
Yeah, that chick definitely saw fucking Payday. But, was there anything else I wanted to talk about? Not really. No, I think we covered everything. 80s music. Lance Henriksen. Yeah.
So in short, if you haven't seen the Terminator,
it's
you
quality.
don't have to because we just told you all about it.
Quality shit. You should still watch it.
You don't need to watch the Cloverfield Paradox because I completely ruined it for you.
I still want to watch it because I want to see that arm crawling around.
Oh, it's cool.
I like that actor, that Irish guy.
Is that what he is?
He's a funny piece of shit.
He was the comedic relief in the movie for sure. He was funny.
Yeah. You know what is a sci-fi movie that's not a sci-fi horror movie? So I had a hard time with it. But I want to talk about it.
We need to do more sci-fi anyway.
You know what's a great sci-fi movie? Last Starfighter, bro.
Dude. That's a whole episode. That's part of my childhood. You don't know how many games I wanted to beat just so they would come pick me up so I could go be the last Starfighter.
So
gave every kid in the trailer park hope.
That's another thing I liked about it.
It was great.
Was it had it was like if you took E.T. and Star Wars and smashed them together, you kind of get Last Starfighter.
A little bit.
Because, he was...
I love how they left like a clone of him there. That was all
the fucking the beta unit.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about it real quick. How much time we got?
2 minutes.
Fuck. We can't talk about Last Starfighter.
We got to
But we need to because there's some amazing
there's definitely going to be a part 2 and 3 to this episode because I got 5 more pages.
I remember watching Jaws: The Revenge and being like, "Fuck, that's the dude from Last Starfighter." Right. And that's who he is, man. He's
exactly who he is.
He's that guy. He's the guy from Last Starfighter.
He'll always be that guy with his weird white guy afro kind of thing.
Oh, he had great hair. He had great hair, dude. Great 80s fucking...
It's a horrible
Let it go hair.
All right. Okay. Until next time.
Fucking shit.
Thanks for listening.
Last Starfighter.
I love that fucking movie.
Oh, fuck.